It's me again, and I am Cheryl, and welcome to my channel. Well, anyways, it has been a very long week that I was not able to complete my series of how to pass your Rarejob demo lesson. So in this video, I am going to share with you the last step on how to pass your Rarejob demo lesson. So let us start. Okay, are you ready? Okay, first off, if you have watched my previous videos, I already talked about the different types of assessment that you need to remember. And please, if you haven't watched those three videos that I've made, then you need to watch them first because this is the continuation on my training log. And in this video, I am going to talk to you about four things that you need to know in order for you to pass your Rarejob demo lesson. So without further ado, let us all get started. Okay, number one, or this is the fourth category, is you need to be effective in your explanation. So whether it's a grammar or it's a beginner news article or a daily news article that you're going to discuss, and right now Rarejob is changing most of its curriculum, so you will also have a lot of ideas on what to actually do and what not to do. So maybe in the next series of my videos, I am going to share with you on how to conduct lessons with like Jitsuyo Ekewa lesson, daily news article lesson, and so much more. So first, let us go and pass your Rarejob demo lesson, okay? There are three things that you need to remember. Number one is under the able to provide good explanation, you need to be accurate and relevant in your explanation. Number two, you need to be brief and concise. Always explain briefly. Yeah. And number three, you need to be clear in your explanation. So when you explain, you must consider as well the level of the student and you have to be clear. And last one, number four, you need to give the explanation promptly. So if the student would ask what's the meaning of this word or this sentence, then you need to explain immediately. And you don't say, later we're going to discuss what this word means. Okay, you don't have to do that. And the next part in this effectiveness of explanation is that you need to provide an explanation after the student provided a hint. Yeah, this is actually part of that previous category. So if they have provided some hints like, I don't understand this, or they would say, I still don't get it, like those things. So anything that you feel that I think the student really didn't understand, then you have to provide the explanation immediately. And yes, well, basically that's it. There's actually the third thing, but it's just the same, that the tutor must provide an explanation after directly being asked by the student. So yeah, I don't get it. Yeah, like Rarejob. What? Okay, and the next category under my training log, this is actually the fifth category, is that you need to establish rapport and be a good conversationalist. So in your Rarejob lesson, it's not just about having the lesson and doing this and that, but at the same time, you need to be a friend, a companion to your student. Most of these students are actually stressed in the workplace. And you also have to think about that in your demo lesson. So you don't consider that demo lesson as just someone that will interview you. Consider them as someone that is already an exact student that you will have, and an exact student that you are going to have. So there are two categories here. The first one is that you need to ask follow-up question to the student. So I have already discussed this. When you're explaining or asking something, you just don't ask like one question. Maybe you need to add more questions, like at least 2 or 3 questions. That's a very good way of being a good conversationalist. And the next one is that you need to not interrupt the student while they are speaking. Now, basically, when they speak, sometimes we cannot get rid of like talking at the same time, but you can ask for an apology. You can say, "Oh, sorry, what did you say?" Or you can say, "I apologize. You can go ahead. You can say first." Yes, like that. So there are times that you can't get rid of that kind of situation, but just ask for an apology. But you need to not interrupt the student while he or she is talking. That if he explains something, then it's a bit already too long. It's like already 10 minutes that he still keep on talking. And yeah, so yeah, it's, but well, it's impossible, but you just don't interrupt and you just do it politely, because yeah, Japanese are polite. Okay, and this is the third thing that I will be talking about in this video, but this is number 6 of your assessment. Politeness to the student in giving correction, in asking questions, and in keeping one's focus in class. Yeah, there are 2 things that you need to consider. The tutor should be responsive in the student cues. Yeah, so it talks more about your feeling as a tutor. So if you feel that this student is actually bored or what doing something, then you need to respond very well. And the next thing is that you should not eat, drink, or talk to somebody else during your class. Well, this is actually the basic thing. You don't want your Chinese teacher or Korean teacher or any other language teacher to talk while you are having a class, right? So it's actually a common sense for you not to talk, not to eat, and not to drink. Well, of course, if you are having some like phlegm that you need to clear out, then you need to ask for an apology. Or maybe if you are thirsty or there's something wrong with your throat, then you can just say, "I'm sorry, I need to drink water." Yes, but yeah, but you know what? When I had my lesson, not my demo lesson, really my lesson in Rarejob, sometimes there was an incident that I really need to talk to my mom because I wanted her to buy me something and she needs to go somewhere. So yes, I really pressed that mute button. So yeah, maybe you can do that if there is a really, really, really a very, very important thing that you need to do. Then you can just press the mute button, but don't press the mute button for a very long time. Okay? Yes, but that is only if it's in emergency case. Okay, and lastly, in your assessment, you need to be punctual and you need to manage your time. So there are 3 things that you need to consider. Number 1 is that you should be able to start the class on time. So in Rarejob, they're going to ask you to log into your Skype 30 minutes before the class, and you should start the class if it's 7:30, then you should start at 7:30, okay? And number 2, you need to end the class on time. So being able to end the class on time is actually a plus points for you in your punctuality and your time management, because if the time is like not enough, then yeah, that means you were not able to manage your time properly. And number 3, you need to follow the given time allotment scheme. So in your demo lesson like material, they are going to give you how many minutes you need to talk for your introduction, for like the, if it's a grammar or if it is an article, then how many minutes. Oh, okay, so I'm sorry. Yes, like how many minutes you're going to like explain the words, or how many minutes you should read the article. Yeah, like all these things. It doesn't have to be very perfect. Sometimes you have to sacrifice one part of the, not really sacrifice, but you just have to go beyond or go below that time allotment. It depends on what the student needs, okay? But you really need to follow the time allotment in order for you to end your class on time. Okay? Well, these are all the things that you just have to take note. And in this video, I have already shared to you the last things that you need to remember in your Rarejob demo lesson. So I really hope that you will pass your Rarejob demo lesson. And thank you very much for all the messages. I actually read them all and I received them in my email, and I really have a wonderful time reading them. It's not a very big community in my YouTube channel, but actually those people that sent me a message really inspires me to make more videos, and also like let me think that yes, I am doing something that also will relieve my stress, and at the same time um like yes, like freshen up my creativity and also helping me out in terms of a lot of things. So thank you guys, and hope to see you again in my next video. And yes, please do suggest on what kind of video you want me to do, because I also ran out of ideas. Thank you, and hope to see you next time. Bye.